Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Shri M.K. Narayanan, participants and invitees to the conference, members of the strategic community, my colleagues at the IDSA, Excellencies, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend heartiest welcome to you all to the 16th Asian Security Conference being organized by the IDSA. We are most grateful to the Honorable Governor for agreeing to inaugurate this conference. Shri Narayanan, as former National Security Advisor, has been deeply involved with the shaping of India's security strategies and doctrines in the backdrop of internal and external changes. We look forward to hearing from him later. Friends, this is the 16th edition of the Asian Security Conference being organized at the IDSA. The forum has emerged as an international platform for exchange of views on Asian security trends as they evolve. After the end of the Cold War, Asia's rise was seen and predicted by several scholars and experts even before the first Asian conference was held. The talk of Asian century was just beginning about 15-16 years ago when the first conference was held here. Over the years, scholars have had an opportunity to track emerging trends closely and peer into the future. The world has changed rapidly in the last 16 years. Since then, several seminal developments have taken place, and some of these are 9/11 attacks, which heralded the rise of the influence of non-state actors in international affairs. Afghanistan became the longest war waged by the US overseas. The Iraq war set the stage for fundamental changes in West Asia, and the global economic and financial crisis brought to the fore the weaknesses of the existing international economic order. 16 years ago, the West was still at the top of the global hierarchy. Its supremacy was unchallenged. The talk of a new world order in which the West might play a secondary role was still at best mute. Today, it is commonplace to talk about the shift of power from the West to the East. Among the many trends that are shaping the global and Asian geopolitical landscape, the rise of India and China has attracted huge attention. How will this affect the regional global balance of power is, though, a matter of debate. The relationship between emerging powers and the global powers is being redefined. Given the political, economic, security and energy interdependence between Asia and the West, the redistribution of power is going to be a complicated and a long-drawn affair. Asia is a massive, diverse continent with a number of sub-regions. The key regions of West Asia, Central Asia, South Asia, ASEAN, Northeast Asia have their own geopolitical dynamic. Several conflicts dot the Asian landscape. There is no single security architecture spanning Asia, although several regional security architectures have been mooted in the recent years. The key challenge remains to ensure that the rise of Asia does not lead to conflict and violence. Indian Ocean and Pacific Oceans wash the shores of Asia. The salience of the oceans for global peace and stability has given rise to the concept of the confluence of the seas propounded by Prime Minister Abe and the idea of Indo-Pacific given by some Australian experts. In South Korea, the President has herself highlighted the concept of Asian paradox, emphasizing the possibility of conflict among Asian countries despite a fair degree of economic interdependence. The phenomena of the so-called Arab Spring, the unprecedented political turmoil in the Arab world, has highlighted the possibility of long-term destabilizing impact of globalization on the existing world order. The resource-rich region of Central Asia, or Eurasia, is located at the heart of Asia and is critical for global geopolitical equilibrium. The opening of the Arctic Sea routes connecting Asia and Europe adds a new dimension to Asia's global dynamic. In South Asia, despite some impressive political and socio-economic gains of the last few years, poverty remains endemic and the threat of terrorism is ever present. In the backdrop of these changes, India finds itself at a critical moment of history. India has an unprecedented opportunity to address the challenge of poverty and development at home by contributing to peace and stability in the world. As a country with over 1.2 billion people and the third largest economy in PPP terms, India has a distinct role in global affairs. The world has taken note of its rise, but the full potential of India's rise has yet to be felt. Opportunities are waiting to be tapped. How does India see the changing world order? That will be discussed in this conference. Recently, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, addressing the senior commanders conference, had expressed anxiety at the increasing contestation in the seas to our east and the related pivot or rebalancing strategies of the US in the area. And he emphasized the need for acquiring a tangible national capacity to deal with these challenges. In a separate context, the National Security Advisor, speaking recently at the Munich Security Conference on Global Power and Regional Stability, had expressed India's desire to seek a reduction in regional tensions, democratized international order, and more effective and representative global institutions. So there are many ideas on the table. These two statements sum up India's approach to the changing world order. Friends, many of these ideas are going to be discussed in this conference, and I do hope that we have a productive 3 days of exchange of views. Welcoming you all to this conference once again. Thank you and Jai Hind.